Hello to everyone watching this video, it's Leviathan here again. Hope you guys are having a decent Christmas. For this video, I'm going to have an interview with my dad's mom to see if she has her own perspectives on my Leviathan universe and other miscellaneous conversations and such. Just so you know. So, what would you like to say?
Well, when we were talking before it started recording, we were talking about who were the characters I liked and disliked and why.
Yeah, and I was explaining how the Martians are going through overpopulation, and that their best way to cure themselves of overpopulation is to terraform the default Earth.
So that makes them sort of anti-heroes, doesn't it? And so what your point is that to each other they're heroes, but to Earthlings they'd be anti-heroes, right?
Villains. Because terraforming leads to extinction.
Anti-hero villains, bad guys in our view. Like me the other day, I discovered a spider before I got in the shower, and it was a big black one. And I thought Levi would not want me to kill it. I actually thought this. Levi would hate it if I killed this spider. Because even spiders have feelings, right?
Yes.
What do you think I did?
Did you spare it?
No. I killed it quite dead and washed it down the drain.
Isn't that racist?
I don't think it's racist because he's not like, it's not like I'm a white spider and he's a black spider. No. It's more anti-spiderist.
But that's racism, because it's all
No,
species that has to put up with that. Can you imagine being a racist snake?
I'm racist where snakes are concerned too.
But
Not
they're
all
just going
snakes.
by with their own time. Is it even their fault to begin with?
Well, I don't know. How do we know? Why? Why? How do we know that they were born a snake and I was born a short, chubby grandma?
Well, all things are less dreadful than they seem.
That's very wise. That's good. So I like heroes. I do not like the villains in the stories that cause harm to others. So in that story, I would have been the villain, and I destroyed the whole family because I haven't seen another spider since. That was the only one. And I keep looking to see if he had any spider babies or she did, but no. No spider web, nothing.
Just so you know, the actual term is silk.
Ooh,
Silk. Spider web, the compound is called silk.
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 Silk. Oh, silk. Hmm. Anyway, what were we talking about?
My Leviathan universe. And if you.
So in that regard, I understand. It depends on your perspective whether you yourself are a hero or a villain, doesn't it?
How do you feel about the war between the Jupiterians and the Saturnians?
Well, I've thought about that. I've never thought about that at all, so I have no
The
feelings.
natives of the moons of Jupiter have been feuding against the natives of the moons of Saturn in terms of which of those two gas planets are more important for the solar system's health. And they've been debating for quite some time. In fact, the character Mighty Hawk, who is a Native American superhero, is the reincarnation of Saturna, who was a ruler, a queen of the moons of Saturn, up until her assassination by an unknown Jupiterian.
Which brings up another subject. I love how so many of your characters are these powerful women. That's really neat.
All women are better than all men, and I, as a
Well,
male, am willing
that's
to admit to
racist.
it. No, no, that's not racist in
What
the
is it?
slightest. That is chivalry, because if you think that women aren't adequate, that's misogyny, which is way
Yeah, but
worse
what if
than
you think
racism.
they're better than men?
I admit that they are better than males, provided that I know that I am a male. Like, I understand, because I don't want anyone to indulge in misogyny. I want to do women favors.
Well, that's good.
So
You
that's why
respect
I
women.
say that all women are better than all men.
Why do you think you grew up respecting women?
You could say it's because of Susan.
Oh, well, that would be me.
No, Susan Murphy.
No, but you respected women before you saw that movie with Susan Murphy.
Well, not as much as I did back then, like beforehand. Does that make sense?
Little boys, I'll tell you, from my study of psychology, little boys respect women to the extent that they respect their own mom. And you have a wonderful mother, don't you? She's strong, she's tough, she doesn't put up with any
Which
guff.
one?
Huh?
Which one?
Tamara.
Because I'm adopted.
I'm your grandmother, I know you were adopted. I respect that mother, that birth mother, for knowing that she was too young to have a baby and raise him properly. So I have respect for her, but I never met her. Your mother, your Tamara, met her, and she has a lot of respect for her too. But the reason you respect women isn't because of the birth mom. It's because of the mom who raised you. And you know, for so many years,
I am capable of feeling empathy. That's part of the reason why I consider myself as supposedly a hero. Because sometimes I feel like I need to make like hard choices and decisions for the betterment of.
and you do feel empathy, and that is why you're only marginally autistic. People who are fully autistic generally do not feel empathy. That's just something that they just can't quite, it has no meaning to them, but to you it's huge. When you were a very little boy, you and your parents were watching a movie, and you might remember what it was, but you felt so bad for the girl in the movie, as I recall. I don't remember what it was.
Bridge to Terabithia. I think that's what it was.
And you cried because you felt empathic for that character. And Tamara cried because you were crying, and she said, he has love, he has empathy, he's amazing. And she was talking about you. That's the kind of mom that raised you. Pretty cool, huh? And I do believe that that's why you have women are the heroes. Because you think of your birth mother as being heroic to have made a difficult choice. And you think of your adopted mother as also being heroic to have raised you, knowing when they adopted you, she knew you had problems. Have you discussed that other problem on your video?
What do you mean?
The one you were born with.
Autism?
Yeah, but that wasn't identified for a while.
Cleft lip and palate.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And your mother and your father said, we love this baby. We'll take care of him. And they have done that. Right up till now.
And here's an interesting thing about my Leviathan universe.
What's that?
My heroes aren't referenced as protectors of mankind. They are referenced as protectors of innocence. Only save those who should be saved. If someone doesn't want to be saved, then leave them be. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Because I've heard of an instance of a man who attempted to jump off a building. He was saved, but then he sued the guy. He sued the hero for saving his life, and basically almost ruined his life just because he was trying to do something good, but the thing was he didn't want to be saved. That sounds like Bolsheviki, but that's...
There are a lot of people who don't want to be saved, and they do resent people who want to take care of them. A lot of people don't want to be saved. There are a lot of people that are making huge mistakes in their lives, and people around them can see that they're making those big mistakes, and they try to help them. let's get you into some kind of a program here and get you off those drugs or alcohol or whatever it is. They don't want to be saved from their weaknesses because they like their life, right? And that's so what you're talking about is really a very metaphor for reality there. And for what you're doing is really quite good. That you're saying these heroes, they really can only save people that want to be saved, right?
Yes,
Do they ever try to save somebody who doesn't want to?
that would be arbitrary.
They could, or they could try, but would they succeed? Do they ever succeed in saving someone who didn't want to be saved?
Not as far as I know, because I think that would ruin their chances of success in their future. And here's
If you
another.
only pick the easy things to be successful at, maybe you'll find out someday that there is a character who picks the hard things, who says, I'm going to do a hard thing here. There's somebody I'm going to help that doesn't want to be helped.
I just don't want my audience to feel overly stressed out. I want to spare them the emotional strife.
Who? Your characters or your audience?
The audience. My
Your
audience.
audience. They're just having fun. We're all having fun. Because we like to eat.
And here's a fun fact. In my Leviathan universe, the terms gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender are all non-existent in Leviathan universe. All of those phrases were unheard of because what matters is that intimacy is a blessing, and you shouldn't be biased to certain groups. Like if a woman is in love with another woman, big whoop. It's no different than traditional standards. They don't have to be hetero. You know?
I know.
They could choose however they wish without anyone forcing them to be a certain way, because there's no life without satisfaction or personal choice. No, that is basically a cursed simulation. Imagine living a life where everyone forces you to be a certain way, whether you want to or not. Even if it's all good and never any bad, that's still ultimately bad, because you need to experience good and bad for the betterment of your future in the long run.
Yep. That's true. And that's how it is in this world that we were placed here to experience good and bad, like we were talking about before. Good and evil have always existed. Heroes, anti-heroes, or villains. People trying to help people that didn't want help. And sometimes the person who we think needs help is the real hero. You know, we get it all mixed up. But it's been that way since Adam and Eve, or whoever you...
Adam and Eve Cook. That's what they're referred to in the Leviathan universe.
Adam and Eve what?
Cook.
Cook.
C-O-O-K-E. That's their last name.
Well, since Adam and Eve Cook were here, in the very beginning, there was good and evil. They had to make choices right from the beginning, didn't they?
Yeah, you could say. Yeah.
And we still do. We still make choices. And is that what your universe is about? Is about making choices?
The main message from my Leviathan universe is social toleration. Yes, it's different.
Did you say cultural, like social and cultural mixed together?
Social toleration.
Oh, I thought you said cultural. Well, that's
No.
a cool new word.
Social toleration.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's different, yes. But does it matter that it's different? Sometimes it's good not to fit in. Because if you don't fit into a certain group, there's an undisclosed chance that you would be a prodigy in the process. Everyone has the shining. It's just some people have more of that spiritual energy than others, which is why we have Einstein, Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, H.P. Lovecraft, Stephen King, R.L. Stein, any of those people, because they all have exponentially more of the shining than, like, say, an average person who was never a celebrity. You know?
There are a lot of average persons who are quite incredible but never become famous. But a lot of people who have brilliance and shining, who have a lot of spiritual qualities, a lot of intuition, a lot of revelation, a lot of things they understand, but they never become famous for those things. There are many of those people on this planet right now.
Well, I just want to make sure that I am providing for my multiverse because I don't know if I would be able to find a successor, at least as of right now, and I just hope that my creations don't dissipate as soon as I do. I want my creations to live on, even if that means that I would perish. Does that make sense?
It does. It does to me. I can identify with that a little bit. I've written a whole book of Christmas songs. And nobody but I'm the only one who cares about them.
That's fine.
I know it's fine. But I do want them to live on after me. So I have put about 10 or 11 of those into a little book.
That's fine.
And so they'll be there. Your dad has one, all your uncles, and someday somebody might look in there and say, well, that's a pretty cute little song, I'll sing it, or not. But they're there, they're written down, and that's what you've done. You have written things down, and you're making a video chronology of everything, and a memory that will live on after you. And maybe you will never know how many people enjoy it, are interested in it, think, look what that guy did. Look what that Levi did with his life. He did some good stuff. Your brain is amazing. You've figured out how to use all this equipment, how to do all of these things that you do. A lot of buddies already know that. But it will live on because what you have is a permanent record.
I just hope that it's
but I
permanent.
do understand that you don't want it to just, when you die, when you're an old man, you die, and then it's just gone. Nobody ever knows ever again anything about the Leviathan universe. I understand that. That's a concern.
Yeah.
I understand it. I understand you.
Is there any final things you'd like to say? Because I can't have it longer than 20 minutes.
Well, as Leviathan grandmother, whose name is also Susan, I always felt bad that it wasn't, I'm not the hero Susan. Nope, I'm just the Susan grandma. I think I'd like it on record that I am extraordinarily proud of you. Because I've known you since you were born, and I've watched you come through surgeries. I've watched you come through special ed. I mean, you survived that, and now here you are. You could teach so many things. You're so smart. I'm proud of your loving, kind nature. I'm proud of how kind you are to me and respectful. And I just think it's okay for people to know that about you.
Yeah. I just hope that it's worth your time that we get to do this.
Very valuable time.
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
do it again sometime.
Oh well, I hope you guys appreciate this video as much as I could. If you guys want, you could like, subscribe, comment down below, and share if you want. You know how it is. Hope you guys had a decent Christmas, and I hope you guys would receive a decent New Year and so forth. And until next time, in transmission.